Andrade was getting set to come on as well. This one helped along. The flick is in. How's that from Boggy Longwane? Out of nothing on the long throw, and the South African got something to it.
The goal was nice, but the celebration, even better. He did like almost the Simba thing there.
This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Luca Celebre, and this is Digital Sportscentre presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. And we're continuing our off-season look-ahead series today, and focusing on the Habs. While their season ended with a first-round loss to the Capitals, it's hard not to feel like 2025 was a success for them. And now heading into the offseason, they're quietly in one of the best spots in the league. And that's thanks to their insane pool of assets. Montreal's already considered to have one of the deepest prospect pools in the league, which includes 3 of the top 50 affiliated prospects from Craig Button's list back in February, including number 1 in Ivan Demidov. And they've also got a plethora of draft picks, including 9 selections in the first 4 rounds of tomorrow's draft. That's a lot of picks, and they're probably not going to make all of them, but what are they going to do with them? Many thought Zegras, he's off the board, who's next? Well, if recent history tells us anything, it'll be some aggressive moves on draft day. Canadiens GM Kent Hughes has been with the team for 3 drafts, and in 2 of them, he's made some pretty big trades, including bringing in Kirby Dach and trading up to snag Michael Haig. And coming off a playoff berth last year, we can only expect him to be even more aggressive this time around. 2 guys that have been in trade rumors of late are Rasmus Andersson of the Flames and Jason Robertson of the Stars. And while neither would be cheap, the Habs have more than enough assets to get a deal done if they want to. They're in position to make a big splash. It's always tough with a young core that kind of had that year of success. They made the playoffs when no one thought they would. They're only going to get better. How much do you want to already mortgage the future? Or do you want to go into next season relatively the same, couple moves in free agency, and then see where you're at the trade deadline to either make that big splash if you have this continued trajectory? It's a fascinating position that Kent Hughes is in. To the association, and round 1 of the NBA draft has come and gone. And while we didn't get the fireworks we were hoping for, the Raps definitely made some news with the pick of Collin Murray-Boyles. Mostly because of this reaction. I was waiting for the quotes after because obviously someone was going to ask him about it, and in this day and age, you never know. You just never know. Well, the Raps later posted this picture of him looking much happier, with the caption saying, "See guys, he's happy." And Murray-Boyles clarified after saying, quote, "It's just disbelief. Toronto's the first team I worked out for. What I said was not a bad thing, just very thankful. This was a surreal moment, and this organization has a great history. Could have been a draft day disaster, and obviously with some more context, it wasn't. It's just a really overwhelming moment, I'm sure, that none of us can experience. Teenage kids getting drafted is a dream come true, let alone finding out what city you're gonna play in. Your life is changing, so I'm happy we had the context and we're not just ripping him apart." So now that that's done, let's look at Murray-Boyles, the player. While the comps last night were all about Draymond Green, something ESPN draft expert Jonathan Givony was pushing well before the draft, adding he's a little bigger, a little stronger, with a higher reach. And the praise isn't done there. ESPN draft expert Paul Biancardi said of Murray-Boyles, quote, "He's one of the most versatile defenders in the draft, and his steal and block ability will translate. And his swing skill will be his outside shot. Count on Boyles to defend, score inside the arc, and rebound." He put up some numbers at South Carolina, playing in the SEC, which was one of the toughest conferences in college basketball. He put up close to a 17-8 with a 58.6 field goal percentage, and also giving you more than a steal and block per game. With that size, we do wonder what his offensive game will look like at the next level. The Raps aren't done though. They'll pick 9th tonight in the second round. 39th overall. And you can watch the second round of the NBA draft tonight on TSN. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Time for my favorite segment and yours, Why We Love Sports Today.
Why we love sports today.
And you know this play is good if we're heading to the Atlantic League. Staten Island versus Rhode Island, and Chris Roller with one of the best catches you'll see.
2-2. In the air and well hit the center field. Chris Roller on his horse near the track dives, and did he come up with it? He did! Oh my goodness! What an incredible catch in center field by Chris Roller!
He went head over heels. He did like a full flip. How are you supposed to compete with that? And now time for some Saucy Sounds presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. Mavs fans, we gotta love you. Yes, Nico Harrison traded away the franchise player in Luka Doncic, but since then, you've won the lottery. And last night you drafted your new franchise superstar in Cooper Flagg. And the fans at American Airlines Center there for the draft party still got bad blood with Nico and let him know about it. It's crazy because like Cooper Flagg is this generational player, and yes, you should be excited about that, but you know what would be even more exciting if you had Luka Doncic still and maybe Cooper Flagg, because that was on the table as a possibility still. Like, you won the lottery, you got lucky, why couldn't it happen with both? And in all honesty, we just love that kind of spite from sports fans. Time now for the CFL Preview powered by FanDuel. Week 4 begins tonight with the Bombers and Elks in Winnipeg. And if you ever wanted to see a one-sided matchup, look no further. Winnipeg's won 12 straight against Edmonton, going all the way back to 2018. Perhaps even more impressive, they've outscored the Elks by more than 200 in those games. That's not even a real stat. And also, I know the Elks struggle in June. Like, they don't have a win in June in like 18 games, so this is a disaster waiting to happen. So considering all that, and the fact that Winnipeg's undefeated so far this season, it's no surprise that our friends at FanDuel have the Bombers as a heavy favorite going into tonight. If Edmonton were to pull off the upset, numbers suggest it needs to come from the ground game. When the Elks went on their mini 2-game winning streak to close out the season last year, they averaged north of 230 rushing yards a game. And to start this year, that average has been cut in half. So if you think they have any chance tonight, you might want to consider the over on running back Justin Rankin's rushing yards. TSN has you covered for all things Elks and Bombers tonight. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. I just feel bad for the Elks at this point. They'd never win in June. They're always behind the 8 ball going into the rest of the season. I really like Trey Ford. I feel like they made all of the offseason moves, darlings of the offseason. And now it's just like another slog through this month, and they might not have a win again. Anything can happen in the CFL, but man, do you want to get off to a good start. That's all for me today. Marissa will be right back here tomorrow at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Have a good one.